In this video, I'm going to show you how I made nearly $1 million on a simple content website. And I'm going to break down everything I did so you can apply the same techniques to your own website. My name is Matt Diggity and I'm the CEO of LeadSpring, an agency that's completely focused on building, ranking, and eventually flipping affiliate websites. In September of 2018, LeadSpring purchased a small content site for $15,811.04. I'm not sure why you need to know how many cents it was, but let's move on. Now, with respect for the buyer, I can't reveal the exact niche, but the overall category is health. Here's a graph showing the earnings over time, and as you can see, we started off at absolute newbie earning levels. In about 5 months, the site broke through the $1,000 per month threshold, and in about 15 months, it broke through $10,000 per month. Eventually, it broke $20,000 per month, and I'm excited to share the techniques I used to get there. In terms of how much I invested in the site, we ended up writing about 300 pieces of content for a total of $21,500 and some change. I also built about 1,000 links whose costs and staffer and blogger fees added up to about $20.5K. So our grand investment total is the cost we paid for the site plus the content and the link fees was nearly $58,000. Yikes. But on April 9th, I sold the website for $625,000, 2.5 years after I bought it. But remember, up until that point, I had been collecting affiliate commissions that whole time, which were paying for all the costs as the site grew. $282,513 in affiliate commissions to be precise, for a grand earning total of $908,000. If we take the grand total and divide it by the amount invested, that's a 1,468% return. Eat your heart out, Dogecoin. What I just described is known as content website flipping, and it's a main way I earn my income. You buy websites from private deals, marketplaces, and Facebook groups, and they don't have to be big deals like the one I made. You then grow these websites using SEO to increase traffic and conversion rate optimization, or CRO, to increase the revenue per visitor. Then you go ahead and flip it again for a much higher price. I also build websites from scratch too, and I teach both of these techniques in my course, The Affiliate Lab. But what I'm going to do right now is give you a free crash course in affiliate SEO through the lens of this case study. We'll discuss the purchase, how I knew $15,000 was a steal on this website, the 10 affiliate SEO strategies that were absolutely crucial to grow this website, and I'm going to get into some next level that most SEOs won't tell you about, and then how we set things up for a big flip in order to realize that 1,400% return. But before I do that, I'd like to ask if you'd be down to flip the color on the like button. Flipping the color on the like button takes zero investment capital, and you get an immediate return of having a different color on the like button. But seriously, it helps me out a ton, so I'd really appreciate it. Let's get talking about how I found this site in the first place and how you can find diamonds in the rough too. I first discovered this site on my favorite marketplace to purchase content websites, and that's Empire Flippers. The first thing you want to evaluate when starting a new affiliate project is the niche. And this applies to whether you're buying or building a site. In the Affiliate Lab, we teach a process for niche valuation based on a number of factors. In a nutshell, you want to check search volume to make sure you're going to get enough visitors to your site. You want to ensure that it can be monetized with a decent affiliate program, not like Amazon. And then definitely make sure to Google the main keywords and make sure it's not being dominated by authority sites. We want low to medium competition. You want to make sure that the niche has longevity and isn't a fad. And lastly, you want to make sure that the niche isn't trending downwards. It's even better if your niche is trending upwards like ours was. Another positive for this site, it was on a branded domain. Branded domains give you the ability to expand into other niches, which is always a good thing. You don't want to be tied into only talking about table saws because you built besttablesaw's.com. Now the website's links, while there weren't many, were still pretty good. And here's a pro tip. Whenever purchasing a website, always make sure the website has at least some good keywords at the top of page 1. Google will not put any websites it hates anywhere near page 1. This is a must-do sanity check. So turns out I liked the site and I set up a quick interview with the seller. I did some light negotiations to get the price down a bit. Nothing fancy, nothing Shark Tank. I simply pointed out some risks for the site and asked for a discount in order to compensate for them. For example, the traffic to the site was only coming to about 3 to 4 different pages. I pointed this out and saved myself about 10%. Now, depending on where you're at in your affiliate journey, $15,000 can seem like a lot of money. Well, that's because it is. But you can find smaller private deals all the time in Facebook groups like the Affiliate SEO Mastermind. And if you're a fresh beginner, I highly recommend building a site from scratch anyways. That's what I teach in the Affiliate Lab because you need to get your hands dirty. So I bought the site and transferred it over. Let's get into the 10 crucial affiliate SEO techniques that allowed me to grow this site to $22,000 per month. starting with the Super Audit to get the site to maximum velocity as soon as possible. Think of the Super Audit like a tune-up. We're about to turn your website into a Ferrari and get it positioned to rank and bank as fast as possible. The first thing you want to do is conversion rate optimization. Let's make more money with the existing traffic you already have. The first thing you want to do is optimize your call to action buttons, or CTAs. I've been able to increase sales by 2x by fixing button colors and text on button. Now, I'm about to release a video getting into the nitty-gritty on CTAs soon, so make sure to subscribe. After that, you really want to fix the introduction paragraphs on all your articles. It's called a hook for a reason. I've left a link to a video in the description on how to pull that off, so make sure to watch it after this video. Lastly, start to swap out Amazon products with poor reviews or out of stock inventory for better products, preferably on better affiliate programs. And after that, you want to do a technical SEO audit. The reason I do technical SEO audits early in the process is because they usually result in some very quick and substantial gains. My tool of choice for site audits is Ahrefs. It's easy to use, has a nice interface, and checks everything that you could possibly care about with technical SEO. If you're looking for a free tool, the free version of Website Auditor is pretty good. After that, I highly recommend auditing your articles with Surfer. Surfer is an affordable tool that looks at the people ranking for your keywords and gives you a game plan on what you need to do to be more like them. You'll then get an audit report like this one on how to tweak your content so it can be what Google wants to see. Next, figure out which of your keywords are at the bottom of page 1. These keywords are almost there in the money-making range. They're in the batter's box, ready to step up to the plate. 2 things you can do. Number 1 is to send a backlink with the keyword as an anchor text if you haven't already. This is still one of the biggest ranking signals there is. And second, check to see if the exact keyword is written on the page. Sometimes you're ranked number 8 for a keyword that's not even written on there exactly. After that, check for keyword cannibalization. This is when you have 2 or more pages on your site that are competing for the exact same keyword. When this happens, none of them rank and you need to de-optimize the unintentional page. The final step in the Super Audit is to do your keyword research to fuel your content plan. For this, I use the recursive keyword research technique taught in the Affiliate Lab. In a nutshell, you reverse engineer a competitor in your niche and steal all their keywords. You look at their keyword list and then reverse engineer another competitor for a different keyword. That new competitor will reveal more keywords and more competitors, and you'll end up with every possible keyword and topic in the niche. And now that you have your keyword research done, it's time to get writing. There's definitely value in writing yourself if you're an expert in the niche, but most likely you're not, or you're just not a good writer, which is why I recommend hiring a full-time writer who is a subject matter expert in your niche. I get nearly all of our writers from the Cult of Copy job board Facebook group. You make a post like this that details your requirements. Send them to a form that asks 2 important questions. Number 1, what is your English skill from 1 to 10? 8 or higher is required. Number 2, what is your expert level in the blank niche? 8 or higher is required. The range encourages people to be honest, but really, you're only going to pick the 10s, you sneaky devil. So I found a couple of writers and they got started right away. I also went outside the box and found some writers in the niche that had already been published on popular sites in the niche and had them write an article or 2 for us. I then listed this author on our About page, which is great for establishing expertise, authoritativeness, and trust, also known as EAT. Now, the jury is out on whether Google actually looks at the supposed writers of your articles, but my stance is that it's better to future-proof yourself and then move on to something else. List your authors on your About page. They're real people, and that's a step above a completely anonymous website. You can also get budding influencers to represent your website with what I like to call the influencer pitch. I've left a link to this strategy in the description, so check it out after you watch this video. Lastly, believe it or not, I got actual doctors on our About page. Go to a Facebook group like this, which focuses primarily on agencies managing clients. Then make a post like this to see if anyone has a client that wants a free link in exchange for being featured on your About page. That's what's up. Okay, now that you've gotten all your ducks in a row, it's time to start executing on your content strategy. But when you do so, start building out one content silo at a time. For example, if you're in the health niche, instead of writing an article on weightlifting, then an article on weight loss, then an article on sleep hacking, stick to one niche at a time, complete it, and then move on. If your site is about technology, build out your whole silo on hosting before you touch laptops. The reason for this is straightforward. When you're first starting out, Google just doesn't know what your website is about. They don't know what topic you're relevant to. You want to make things easy for them by literally making every damn article on your site about the same category of topic. When you start filling up the sub-niche with more and more content, you'll see your rankings and traffic increase, and then eventually you move on to the next sub-niche. If you do the opposite of this, Google gets confused, and I promise you'll delay your rankings. Now eventually, when you built up enough content and enough links, you enter what I like to call authority mode. And then nearly everything you publish will start to rank instantly as soon as you publish it. And this is when you really want to scale up your content publishing game. Towards the end of the project, we were publishing 1 new article per day, which is a whole undertaking in itself when it comes to management and scaling. And if you're interested in this kind of thing, I created a whole module on scaling in the Affiliate Lab. So now that you've written a bunch of content, it's time to interlink articles together. There's a concept called topical relevance, which I first published a blog post about in 2017. The story goes like this. I had a client who had a great authority site in the CrossFit space. One day he's like, hey Matt, let's branch into protein powder. Let's write an article about protein powder that makes some money. He actually has that accent.
I am like obsessed with your accent.
Well, we wrote the article and it never ranked. Just because you write one article about something doesn't mean you're an expert in it. So we wrote multiple pages about protein powder and interlinked them all together. It's called creating topical relevance and Google loves it. So as you're writing your content, interlink relevant content together to get this process started. But how do you determine whether 2 pages should be linked together or not? Articles typically have a main subject and an attribute. For example, with an article about the best laptops for travel, the subject is laptops and the attribute is being for travel. Feel free to interlink any articles together that share either the subject or the attribute. You can link a best laptops under $1,000 article because it has laptops in common. Or you could link a best travel backpack article because it has travel in common. Easy breezy. Since we're on the topic of links, let's discuss backlinks now. The website has about 1,903 backlinks, and as mentioned before, I built about 1,000 of them. The rest came in naturally. And out of the 1,000 links I built, a good chunk of them were free, and I'll share the techniques with you soon. And because of the strong backlink campaign, the domain rating of the site grew to 60, which is pretty solid. Here's a quick high-level breakdown of the links I built. In terms of the links I paid for, 40 of these were guest posts, and for that I used authority builders. 30% came from a $20 cheap link insertion outreach technique that I teach in the Affiliate Lab. And the remaining 30% were free, and they came from the following techniques. First, I did social proof link building. This is where you reach out to people that you're an affiliate for, tell them you're considering placing them higher in your roundup list, and ask them if they'd be willing to link to you. I've left a link to a video where you can learn this tactic in full, so make sure to watch it after this video. But here's where you can really turn up the volume on this technique. Remember all that EAT setup that I told you to do earlier? Tell the company that you'd be willing to get them a testimonial from one of your influencers if they'd be willing to place it on their homepage. With a backlink, of course. I promise it feels exactly like this when you land one of these. Aside from that, I had our dev whip up some basic calculators to do some skyscraper outreach with. It was some pretty basic stuff. If you were in the finance niche, you could make a compound interest calculator. Or if you're in the mattress niche, you can make a calculator to figure out when you should go to bed. Next, we have some really outside the box. You know how your email inbox gets spammed a billion times per day asking if people can get a link on your site, and you pretty much ignore all of them? Stop doing that. Why? Because just like you, other quality websites do outreach as well. Sites that you definitely want a link on. And you can do a link exchange with them just by answering an email. Next, let me show you something. I ran a digital PR campaign that built 55 links in a single effort. Just look at the domain rating on these babies. It worked so well I duplicated the same thing in the UK and built 44 more high authority links. Digital PR involves creating a newsworthy story and pitching it to journalists. It's beyond the scope of this video, but make sure to subscribe and I'll lay out the strategy soon. The last set of links I built were free from normal directory citations. Part of building EAT is attaching a physical location to your business, even if it's fictional. And when you have an address, fictional or not, you get the ability to get directory citations on trusted sites like Foursquare for some nice foundational links. Now eventually when the site was rocking and rolling, is that even a saying now?
Rockin' and rollin'.
When the site was crushing it, I decided to do a design change. And the motivation wasn't just so the site would look better, I wanted to make it convert better and I wanted to make it faster. To get a look at the way the homepage was structured, take a look at this graphic from another case study I made called Project Cashflow. I built a completely responsive theme that can be made with any page builder you like, such as Elementor or Thrive. The first key highlight is this featured post section. The articles I placed here are sticky, meaning they'll always stay there. These are the most important articles that I want to send all of our homepage link juice to. Then, a little bit lower, I have a latest post section. When you first release a new article, you want to give it a head start. But giving it some time on the homepage, you again deliver more link juice, which will push the rankings up higher than normal. And through numerous tests, I found that the better start an article has, the better it does overall. Next, let's take a look at what the affiliate roundup posts look like. In this section, I have highlights at the top showing our top 3 products. This delivers a quick answer to the reader who is searching for the best whatever they're looking for. There were some guessio theories about whether this type of post was hit in the December core algorithm update, but my study found zero correlation. From this point on, you'll see everything you want to see in a review article. Pros and cons based on custom criteria, nicely converting CTAs that contrast with the theme, an author bio, and a comment section. One other thing of mention. I put a cheeky fact check tag above the article and reference one of our writers just to keep things a little bit more tin hat for EAT. After that, it's time to make your website fast AF. I went down the rabbit hole of setting up caching, lazy loading, compressed the images, deferring scripts, but I still wasn't where I wanted to be. So I hired Brendan from WP SpeedFix to take things to the next level. Eventually the speed came down to sub 1 second, so I was stoked. If you want to give WP SpeedFix a shot, use coupon code Diggity10 at checkout and I'll earn a small commission, which I promise I'll spend on nothing good at all. Now let's get into monetization and how to maximize your earnings. Through the course of running this site, I was signed up to 51 affiliate programs. Yes, you heard that right. And you want to know how much I was dependent on Amazon? Just 3%. One of the first videos in the affiliate lab is called Why We Don't Use Amazon. Why is that? Because you can make so much better money elsewhere. But you know what the best thing is about having 51 different affiliate programs? Diversity. You're safe if one of those programs decided to implode and close up shop. You also get, sometimes literally, wined and dined by your account managers who are trying to get to the top of your list, often offering to write content for you and discount coupons for your readers. But most of all, buyers love risk reduction through diversity, so you're likely to get a higher multiple when you sell the site. Next, I also built an email list for this site, which is also taught in the affiliate lab. Remember how I said how articles do better when they get a head start? If every time you launch a new post, you get an extra 1,000 eyeballs on it from your email list, not only will your posts rank better, but you can earn affiliate commission from that list traffic too. Not to mention you can create an automated email follow-up machine that is monetized as well. I also set up exit pop-ups in our review posts that show the coupon codes that the 51 affiliate programs were fighting to give to me. Next, I was super surprised at how easy this was to set up, but I set up a merch page on our site by dropshipping print-on-demand t-shirts from Teespring. I think we sold like 7 of them, but it's a thought that counts. Now, although this is the 10th step, I recommend doing it from the beginning, and that's getting your website ready for a sale. I highly recommend always keeping an ongoing profit and loss sheet like this, which keeps track of how much money you make per month from each affiliate program. It's really going to help you keep track of the current value of your site, and when you're ready to sell, you don't need to catch up on the bookkeeping. And when you can sense that it's time to move on, start to remove yourself from the process as much as possible. Start to outsource and document everything in the process. Buyers aren't too hot on buying businesses where they need to work a lot. Now on to the 600K flip. And first I want to answer, how did I know it was time to sell the site? As you continue to write for your site, you'll start to cover more and more topics in the niche. Ideally, you want to leave at least 25% of that niche available for that buyer to improve on the site. I hit that stage, so it was time to start listing the business. But how it went down totally surprised me. I made this post in the Affiliate SEO Mastermind group about a goal that I had to flip a $500,000 site. After that, this handsome devil, my buddy Jason from Investor Club, reached out to me and let me know that he had a buyer on deck ready to buy a site at this price point. Now, I don't think this is how Investor Club usually operates. Maybe they do, but I was happy to not have to go through a listing process and seller interviews and the like. And they definitely had my attention with their 5% seller fees. All in all, they introduced me to the buyer, a great guy who was cool with me producing this video. We came to a fair deal for both parties and live happily ever after. And for more videos and case studies just like these, make sure to subscribe.